Bomb, information that just arrived straight from the Indiana Pacers arena at the last minute. In a spectacular game that the Indiana Pacers played tonight, but it still wasn't enough to come out with the victory. And not for you. Misses the unfolding, it's already written on the channel. The Indiana Pacers played their best game in a while tonight against the Utah Jazz, but it still wasn't enough to walk away with a win. The Pacers have only won 2 games since reaching the midway point of the season. They were up 23-18 and were firmly in playoff contention in the Eastern Conference. Now, they are 25-34 and closer to 13th place than 10th. On Monday night, the Pacers were hoping to get back on track against Utah. They had reinforcements coming in from Jordan Nwora and George Hill, but Miles Turner was out with a back injury. Altogether, this is a negative for the Blues and Golds, but they still had enough talent to beat the Jazz. This was evident for most of the night. It was a back-and-forth game that had a 15-trade advantage, and in the first half the Pacers were the team that benefited the most from that style. They were playing fast, taking down shots and showing their ID. Indiana led by as many as 6 in the second quarter. For most of this game, I liked the tone of how we were competing, said Pacers head coach Rick Carlisle. We didn't always play well, but our intentions were good. The Pacers led by as many as 7 points going into the third quarter and looked like they had a chance to pull off a much-needed win. Instead, the start of the fourth quarter was the worst it could be for the team. Indiana led 90-89 with 11:47 on the clock in the final frame, but they found themselves trailing 108-96 at the 5:25 mark. The Jazz jumped them on the biggest run of the game. That turned out to be the difference. The Pacers struggled late and cut the scoring margin to 1 possession a few times, but never regained the lead. Utah held on to win 123-117, and their burst early in the fourth quarter was a big reason why. We've been beaten one-on-one in a lot of situations, Carlisle said of that stretch. We just have to keep working to protect our guy at the point of attack. Guard Tyrese Halliburton also discussed the Pacers' poor defense. There are a ton of different things, he said of the team's struggles on that side of the court. I think it's more a matter of attention to detail, our attention to detail just wasn't there. The Jazz shot 50.6% from the field and 45.5% from long range. The Pacers held only 2 opponents in the last month to less than 45% field accuracy, and Utah took advantage. They rarely looked uncomfortable on offense without a couple of Jordan Clarkson turnovers. If the Pacers want to get back to winning ways, they must defend better. Opposing teams are driving to the basket with ease and creating wide shots from across the court. The blue and gold can't stop anyone, and that's been the biggest difference between the early season successes and the current failures. And there, Indiana Parks fan, what did he think of the Indiana Pacers X-match? Utah Jazz, U. Did you like it? Yes or no? Leave your opinion in the comments, because it is very important.